Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm checking out the RCA 2-in-1 Cambio, available for $89 at Walmart on Black Friday. You've got some of the specs on one side with the 10-inch HD display, 1280 by 800. It's an IPS display. You can see more information down here on the side. And then 2 gigs of RAM, along with 32 gigs of internal storage. Dual cameras and up to 6 hours of battery life, but that's usually stretched out. Apparently it comes with Office too. Here are some more specs it talks about on the side. You can pause the video if you want. And the specific model number I have here is W101SA23T1C Charcoal. Inside you get the tablet itself, and then the RCA accessories guide, like a startup, as long as the user manual guide or quick start guide. Then the DC port itself to wall outlet to recharge the tablet, and some good old silica gel. So here's the tablet or notebook itself. I gotta say, it looks pretty interesting. The bottom is just like smooth rubber. That's the keyboard area here. And then the back, the other side, is just plastic, just hard plastic. And then there is a kickstand here. The kickstand doesn't seem to go too far back, and I think there's a certain level. If you go back any further, you might end up breaking it, so I'd just be careful about that. I wouldn't try to stretch it too much. On the other side, there's the speaker, and then there's pretty much nothing else, except on the bottom you have the 4-pin magnets, and they hold relatively well in place. That's one thing that RCA does good with their tablets, is the pins don't come off as easily with the keyboards. But one thing you gotta make sure is that it's fully on, because it feels like it's on there, but it's not really, so you gotta make sure you hear that kind of click. And by the way, this weighs less than the average laptop. Assuming the average laptop is about 5 pounds, this is much less than that. It's about 2 pounds. I believe it's 1.8 to be more precise. And of course it would be, because it's like 10 inches versus those are like 14 or 15 inch laptops. So I was looking at the dimensions online and they don't seem to be accurate, because it says that it's thicker than an inch, but when I looked at it, it's less than an inch, like 0.9 inches I believe. My tape measure is kind of damaged, so it's a little hard for me to give the exact number, but I'll try to link it down below. Either way, we have the USB port, power button, 3.5mm headphone jack, micro USB cable, DC port to recharge the tablet, and I believe that's a mini HDMI, and then on the back is a micro SD card slot along with the rear camera, and I like how it's synced in, it's not protruding outwards or anything. And then on the front you have the front camera on the side down here. Now, one or two things I forgot to mention is that number one, this can recharge through a micro USB cable. Number two is that there's this little LED or light indicator on the back that shows that it's charging. The screen looks pretty vibrant and pretty bright too, but again, this is just a 1280 by 800 display. It kind of looks like that more so because we're used to, or at least I'm used to seeing like Windows 10 like laptops 15.6 inches with like 1366 by 768, which makes it look more pixelated, so this does look sharper in a sense. And it is pretty nice, and it does get bright, but I'm not sure if this is enough to use outside in bright sunlight. The trackpad seems pretty responsive too, no problems whatsoever. You can right click by pressing 2 buttons or 2 fingers. And then you can also scroll with 2 fingers up and downwards. So the specs we've got here is that it's rocking an Intel Atom X5Z8350 clocked at 1.44 gigahertz. Again, there's 2 gigs of RAM. 32-bit operating system. And by the way, I'm also using a mouse at this point that I have on my own, sold separately. I'm personally more of a fan of mouses than trackpads, but we can see that there's about 20.7 gigabytes available. So here's the camera itself, the front-facing camera. Again, nothing special, pretty grainy. It's not too bad though. If I take a picture here, it should come out kind of nice. But on top of that, it's not too shaky. So, you know, it's going to be good for Skype calls or something along those lines. But it's not in the center like I'd hope it to be, or, you know, like from what else I've seen or other tablets. Here's how it came out, and it's grainy as expected, like we said before, but you can read Canon and EOS down here, but you can't read anything past that. Now here's the front camera. It is readable, which is nice, and it does take pictures quicker than like the Android predecessors from what I've seen. I don't know if there's a difference between Windows and Android, but again, it's kind of nice to have that, because otherwise you wait like a second for it to take it and they might come out blurry. But yeah, over here it is blurry, but it is readable. That's the main thing, so it can be good for notes in class or something along those lines. They see the regular price was $75 for both. They save 65%. So watching videos on here is alright. The sound quality is pretty tinny, kind of distorted at the full sound. It doesn't get too loud compared to what I've seen, but still not bad overall. Trying to open up things outside of the web can be a hassle because things do load up pretty slowly. Apparently 7 task managers opened, and I only tried opening up 1, and that took a little while. Sometimes it can take a while, but like in general I've noticed like maybe Internet Explorer can take a little longer than expected, maybe by like 2 seconds. I mean, not stuff to complain about too much there, but just something to keep note of. But browsing the web is pretty nice too after things load. I mean, yeah, typing is pretty easy on here. No problems whatsoever. I like it because I do get feedback whenever I'm typing, and so it's nice. It's not too thick, but it's not too thin either. Kind of like the new MacBook where it was having some trouble, but that's beside the point. Nonetheless, it's great. There is Microsoft Word installed on here too, but you just have to sign in, and I don't remember my password or anything. I'm having a lot of trouble actually, so I'm going to skip out on that. But you need to have an account to sign in. So I tried to install a game here on Steam, and it doesn't seem to be working here because there's like this error. I think there's a way to fix this, but so I can't really check it out, and I guess it's shutting down. But for non-gaming, I guess this is a good choice. One more thing I noticed is like this bottom part, the stand here, is kind of it looks like it's coming off. It's like uneven on this side. It's completely fine on this one. But yeah, I did notice that it's kind of uneven and it's like starting to come off, but it is holding in place thanks to, I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe it's just the sticker down here, the sticky part. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Leave a like if you found this video helpful for this quick overview video, and subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, thanks for watching.